All right, but at least we have basketball.
Yeah. Trump said the NBA people are very nasty and very dumb.
Yeah, this is how little kids like argue or like throw a tantrum.
They're very nasty and very dumb.
Yeah.
Well,
For kneeling, I assume is what he means.
Welcome to a little special pre-playoffs edition of the Free Ballers podcast. I'm Alex here, joined as always with John.
Yo,
I'll tell you what was very nasty and very dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Caris LeVert, dude, his game was I don't know if you were watching, but he almost sent the Blazers home. He missed the shot at the buzzer, but they're already locked in the playoffs. It don't really matter. And the whole time I was imagining him playing with Kyrie and KD and Spencer Dinwiddie, and I was like, oh shit. It's like, all right, I'm glad
they
you guys
are
relevant now.
They are people are sleeping on Caris LeVert a little bit. I think most NBA players know he's legit and he's got a really, really bright future. But yeah, he's a good piece. He'll be reduced a little bit, obviously, when KD and Kyrie come back. But great like third piece to have there. And I'm glad they played hard in this game just for shits and giggles. Like it meant nothing to them. They already know who they're playing in the East. In the playoffs, but may as well play hard. I mean, I appreciate when coaches do that. So
yeah, I feel like the Nets are basically playing for like the integrity of basketball and shit. You know what I mean? Like, if for the Nets to just not try in that game, kind of makes the whole thing meaningless. You know what I mean? Like, even though it sucks that the Suns have to go home after being 8-0.
Get me started.
It's like everybody should be trying to win all the time. And the Nets did that. The Suns have to go home because they couldn't quite pull it off. But I don't know. I think it was cool that the Nets made that game exciting. It was actually outside of the Heat games, just being a Heat fan, it was like probably one of the more exciting games I've seen this week, now that everything's kind of sort of getting locked in,
It's no, you're right. I was about to say the same thing, that it's nice to see a team that has nothing to play for actually show up and play anyways, right? They could have just laid back and let the Blazers win a game, and because the Blazers actually needed to win, and it means nothing for the Nets anyways. But at the same time, you use that same logic, right? Like, play as hard as you can and you deserve to get rewarded. And the Suns showed up. They win all the bubble games and they get nothing. And it's weird to it's fair, right? Because they started the bubble with the lowest seed in the conference. Am I correct when I say that?
I believe they had the lowest chances.
So granted, you give credit to Memphis, obviously, for having the chance to play because they played well the rest of the season leading up to this point. So situation happens with a pandemic, super rare. Obviously, you don't plan for these things, but you make a contingency plan. You call it the bubble. You invite these certain teams. You make a plan. Everything's going pretty well. But then a team that isn't expected to win games wins all of the ones that they can win, and then they don't make the playoffs. I assume because of a tiebreaker scenario. Am I right when I say that?
Like why the Suns aren't making it?
Because their record is the same as the Grizzlies, I believe, like wins and losses wise. Yeah,
it's a tiebreaker situation, and it's a shame because they, like, bubble Suns, it was one of the most unstoppable teams, and non-bubble Suns was a team that I joked about. Wow. Like, why did they even invite them? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Totally flipped that on me.
Right.
And also, I think it is a tiebreaker situation, and it's a shame that they didn't, they kind of put themselves in that situation.
They did. You're right.
Let that be a lesson. Try to get most of your win before a potential global pandemic, if you can.
Yes. Yeah, hindsight is, I guess, 2020. So like, it's easy to say now, like,
Oh damn, that was a little. That feels like it hurts for Suns fans. I don't even want to say that. But
yeah,
the thing that bothers me is I came into this hype as fuck about
yeah,
the Grizzlies. Get into the bubble, like, because I love Justice Winslow, and he got traded to the Grizzlies, and then him plus the rest of their young dudes, I was like, that's exciting. Like, I think they're going to be really fucking fun to watch, and how that team develops. However, Justice Winslow quickly, he didn't even make it into the shit. He was in the bubble for like days, and then he suffered an injury, which is just horrible. Like, that's like basically the second year of his career lost due to injury. But then once Jaren Jackson Jr. was hurt, I was like, well, now it's like they're not, if they're not going to be able to be at their best, like
it still could be it for them, because if all the Blazers have to do is win the first game and they're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas
so that injury could be a bad thing for them. Yeah.
Yeah. For anybody listening, if it's not clear, the Memphis Grizzlies now have finished 9th. The Portland Trailblazers have finished 8th, and they play each other on Saturday and potentially Sunday. If the Trailblazers
first ever, what do you call it? It's like a play-in game. Is that right?
Yeah,
is that what they call it? Yeah.
First ever play-in game for the NBA playoffs. The Trailblazers have to win one game, and then they get the grand prize of getting potentially smacked by Dion Waiters and the Lakers.
Yes. Yeah. Dion Waiters. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, yeah, this is, although I have to say, I like this play-in idea, and I kind of hope it happens in the future. I hope they decide to kind of keep this. Like, if you have two teams with the same record, like, you have to put some contingency rules around it, but if you have like two teams with the same record and they're 8th and 9th, maybe they play a game to get in. I don't know.
Yeah, it's super duper exciting, and I think they'll get better at it as time goes on. I like that they at least tried something new in light of the pandemic. But yeah, so the Blazers have to beat them once. The Grizzlies will have to get 2 back-to-back victories over the Blazers to advance to the playoffs, to get destroyed by Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith. So the one thing that really bugs me about it, though, because the Grizzlies aren't like fun selfishly to me anymore, even though Ja Morant is fun, but without his full squad, I feel like we're kind of getting robbed of what would have been a really fucking fun weekend of Blazers versus the Suns to get that spot.
Oh God, yeah, I agree. No, it would have been awesome.
Yeah, like if only the Grizzlies could like just honorably just like
drop out.
Yeah, just pull a Jeff Sessions and like recuse themselves.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: they get paid, so no, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's good. It's good for Ja development wise.
Oh, absolutely.
Not there to lose.
This is a weird first year for him, right? I mean,
I know.
He's Rookie of the Year asterisk,
and
asterisk
you never
being
know.
The pandemic.
Yeah, you never know. Like with the uncertainty of the virus and just how weird this whole thing is. I would want to fucking get in there no matter what, because you never know. You just never know what's going to happen.
True. So, yeah, you don't. Yeah. Shit could go down.
Bubble ball is it's like its own thing. TJ Warren is a god unless he's playing the Miami Heat. Fucking Devin Booker is like I think Devin Booker might be my MVP for the bubble.
The bubble? Yeah, you can't. You have to. Man, that's a tough one, because you want to give it to him because he got his team undefeated. However, they didn't make the playoffs. Tough to give an MVP to a guy whose team didn't make the playoffs. Yeah. But if you're doing it just for the bubble, I'm fine with that.
Which they have announced there will be bubble awards. So,
oh, that's right, of course.
Yeah.
Give it to Devin Booker. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They were undefeated. I think Lillard, personal performance wise, has an edge on him.
Absolutely.
But there's something to be said for Booker being the leader of a team that took 0 losses in the whole fucking bubble thing. So,
although watching Lillard though, he's literally like, man, this game, he's just willing them to win. Like he won't. I mean, it's Jordan-esque, to be very honest. What he's doing
incredible.
out there.
He makes me, when he's hitting those threes from the logo, like,
oh god, stop
it's starting. I think we spoke about this the other day too. It's kind of starting to make me question like Steph's dominance as far as like best 3-point shooter. You know,
okay. So to reiterate, my point with that was I was saying that Lillard is a better long range shooter. So like 30 feet. He has a higher 3-point percentage than Steph Curry. Steph Curry has a higher 3-point percentage overall, right? Like he's
more accurate overall. Yeah.
Yeah. But Lillard, you can make the case for like, man, a guy with that range. I mean, he comes pretty close. Close.
I also think, despite Curry being more accurate overall, I think Lillard has a huge advantage over him when it comes to just like fucking soul shattering threes. That, you know what I'm saying? Like he hit that 3 last year to send home. He basically destroyed the Thunder and turned them into a whole other thing now. Like,
he did.
He doesn't make that shot. Who knows what happens? You know,
like Paul George had a family before that shot. You know what I mean?
True. He had to get 2 robots' shoulders after that. Like
true.
That was he fucking hit a shot that destroyed Paul George's natural human shoulders. The play-in game, I think we all know. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Crazier shit happens. Crazier shit's happened, but you know what I'm saying? I don't think the Blazers are going to not be able to beat them with 2 chances, you know?
Imagine the Grizzlies win the first one, though.
I hope they do.
The vibe that sets. Like now the pressure is on. Now the pressure is equal, right? The pressure is all on the Grizzlies at the start. But if they win the first game, the pressure is now on both teams. Because imagine if the Blazers lose both games. Like you had 2 chances. All you had to do was win the first one, but you had. I mean, this is blowing my mind. This whole play-in thing here. Yeah, it's just like. Yeah, but if the Grizzlies like steal that first one,
my god! If the Blazers lose both games, if I was Devin Booker, I would be infuriated. I would be so fucking mad, dude.
Yeah, because I mean they went undefeated. Oh man. Plus, I mean, I'm just there's a small part of me that's like I want the Grizzlies out of it because of the pick that the Celtics get. So
that's what I was gonna say. The Celtics angle. It's better for the Celtics if the Grizzlies lose. But then they don't improve their pick, you know, in the lottery. So they stay. It would be like a 14, like pick 14.
Oh, it's not going to be like an awesome lottery pick, but it's still a lottery pick for considering they're 3rd in the East right now.
Yeah, so, but I think if they squeak into the top 4, they get to keep it though. So it's got to be.
Is that how you know the stipulations behind it?
I think it's something like that. I think if it's too good, then they'll actually get to keep it. So there's going to have to be a loss from them as well as a little bit of luck, but the odds are like tremendously in favor of it's probably going to be the 14th pick. It's going to be the Celtics pick.
Well, you know, you can't really go by odds with the draft anymore. After the Pelicans, like the way the NBA has kind of changed everything up, like the Pelicans can just as easily get the pick again. You know what I mean? So
it's true. Odds, everything's out the window. I mean, LeBron could be this year's Hillary Clinton. You never know. Giannis, it'd probably be Giannis. Giannis would be this year's Hillary Clinton, and like Jimmy Butler and the Heat would be like the Trump.
The Trump, yeah. That's how I would have. That's how I would have put it. Actually,
no, it's definitely Gordon Hayward. We all know it's.
Oh,
Gordon.
You mean Stash Gordon? Oh man.
No, but there might be some upsets, man. It's going to be a fun playoffs because I don't think there's like a clear cut favorite, man. Like. You know, you got the LA teams and Giannis, and then outside of that, you know, there's like Boston,
kind of wide open.
Yeah. I'd put Boston and Toronto in a tier of their own right now. After that, and then everybody else.
It's going to be a solid series too, because I mean, I don't see let's see. So Boston plays Philly, and Philly without Simmons is they're kind of done, to be very honest.
It's true.
Unless Embiid becomes like an absolute hero, but I don't know. I don't see it.
He looks not in good shape neither, man. The game where he got hurt, I was watching it with my girl, and she was like, we were both just like, this dude looks out of shape. He looks like it's dangerous for him to play. Like he could get hurt at any time, and he fucking got hurt. He got hurt like right when we said that.
It'll be interesting, like, because they got Horford because they wanted to have the guy who defends Embiid so well off of the Celtics, because they were like, listen, we have to compete with the Celtics because we're in the same division. Let's get the guy from them that defends Embiid so well, right? He's the only guy that Embiid, pretty much can't get around, and now, I don't even think it'll matter, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I think the Celtics will. I think Philly is still a good team, but if I'm the Celtics, I feel pretty good. I mean, it's almost perfect because you don't want to face a team that's too easy in the first round. Because I feel like back in the day when during the 4 finals runs in a row with LeBron when in Miami, like I used to feel like sometimes if the first round opponent was like hilariously, it would usually be like Philly, but back when they were much shittier,
terrible, yeah.
I felt like sometimes it wasn't as good as like when they would have those series against Chicago or Boston or Indiana, because that shit was so difficult. Yeah. I feel like it put them on another level. As long as no one gets hurt, they're playing at a higher level to get to the finals, So it's kind of, I think that's a good matchup for Boston to kind of like get in the groove a little bit, because I think the Raptors are going to be a challenge. I do.
For sure. There's 2 teams that play similar defense, and and the Raptors are tricky. They're just like, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know who to guard from game to game. It's kind of crazy.
So. Oh, hear me out. Here's my yes. I got a hot take here on the potential second round series that we don't even know if it's going to happen yet. But I mean, we're pretty sure it's going to be Boston, Toronto in the second round here on the Free Ballers podcast, because you know what I'm saying. We know.
I mean, we know.
So Jason Tatum, does he have one child?
He has one child. His name is Juice.
Already, I'm bringing it with some strong Miss Cleo energy here. Okay. So Jason Tatum has one child. How old is Jason Tatum's kid? Would you say, like, estimating?
He's born. I think he's about 1.
Okay, so he's still like a little baby, right? He's like about
baby. Yeah. Okay. He's walking, so I guess he's a toddler. Yeah.
Okay. So the Heat were playing the Raptors, and Fred VanVleet was going off. He had a career high, and it dawned on me. It dawned on me that the baby that he fathered in the finals last year, that once this baby was born, like he became a man possessed by the basketball gods.
Okay.
That baby is still very baby-like. You know what I'm saying? That baby's got to be like 1. You know what I mean? So that big baby energy is going to be offset by Jason Tatum's baby energy. You see what I'm saying here?
Okay.
So this is actually meant to be, because I think the Celtics have the best opportunity to take them down, because that baby shit ain't going to work.
Ain't gonna work. Okay, so it cancels out, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the baby energies cancel each other out, and now we just have to. It's a balanced matchup, because I do think Jason Tatum secretly has been fueled by baby energy as well.
Oh, so that's true. He did have the baby, and then this year is where he had his final, like where he kind of bumped it up a notch.
Had a baby eats a boy.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, that is a hot take. Baby energies canceling out. Giving Boston the edge. That's interesting.
It's going to come down to the baby.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So the baby energy is what you said gave Fred VanVleet the advantage in the finals, and that's how the Raptors won. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. True. Okay.
man's on fire. He's never looked back. He's a new person. I feel like it's kind of like Cinderella. Like when that baby enters like the next phase, like toddler time, his motherfucker better have secured a contract by then, because it's the powers are going to run out. You know what I mean? Now,
this just in, Danny Ainge just signed Deuce Tatum to a 20-year contract.
So it really is a great matchup, because the Raptors have some key players who are known for, let's say, their ability. I don't want to say girth. I was thinking of a different
size.
Term. Yeah, the Raptors have they got a lot of hips. They got a lot of thickness. I was
gonna say they have a lot of length, to be honest. But
they have a lot of length overall, and then they have a surplus in thickness, like at the point guard position. And I feel like the Celtics have very thick bench guys. You know what I'm saying? The Celtics have like a thick duo off the bench to offset that jelly.
So by the thick duo off the bench, I assume we're talking about Grant Williams and Carson Edwards. Is that what we're?
I was thinking more Edwards and Yabusele or whatever.
Oh, Yabu's not with the team anymore.
God damn it!
I know, Weird Celtics Twitter had so many pictures of that guy's ass, and would be like, damn, it was. He had a dog on him, but that's gone.
Damn, well, gone. Raptors in 5. God damn it.
Damn, that was it. He shouldn't have got rid of Gershon Yabusele, otherwise known as the Dancing Bear. Oh man, that's a shame.
I think the Celtics have a clean path to that matchup, and then that's where it gets interesting, because the Raptors are so fucking.
I mean, the Raptors would be tough if they can beat them. I want to say. I mean, the Bucks will definitely make it that far, right? I mean, unless they have to. I mean, they're facing Miami in the second round, most likely.
Yeah.
That's an interesting matchup. You're right.
As much of a fanboy as I am, though, I have to say that if it's the Heat waiting there in the conference finals, it will be because of some sort of Bucks implosion. You know what I mean? Like, Giannis is so good that they played recently Heat versus Bucks, and the Heat were winning, albeit the Heat were missing Dragic and Butler. The Heat had about a 23-point lead in this game, and then the Bucks did something that I feel like I used to see the Heat do back in the good old times, where it was just like, all right, let's
turn it on.
Let's fucking do this. And they just fucking clobbered them, dude. So realistically, they should be able to do that, but I like the Heat's chances to kind of get in their heads and muck it up a little bit to where it's a bit unclear. There's no clear advantage, especially with Bam guarding Giannis. That makes me feel pretty good.
Me too, and that's why I give them. I am a little more optimistic with it. There's something about Giannis in the playoffs that I just feel like he's going to. The pressure will get to him a little bit. I feel like if he loses this year, if they don't listen, they have to go to the finals and win for him to stick around, I think, or he might consider leaving. He doesn't have that sort of Dame Lillard loyalty thing. That's his pride and joy. He's like, this is the team that drafted me. This is where I'm gonna stick around. I don't see that with Giannis. I mean, he'll leave if he has to, and I don't fault him. It's not a bad thing. It's just if he wants to. I think he's not that tied down to Milwaukee.
It's a real pressure situation for them as an organization. So I think it's safe to say that sorry to Magic, Pacers, Sixers, and Nets fans, but I don't think that me personally, I'm not seeing any upset in the first round in the East.
You don't think even the Pacers have a chance to beat y'all?
I don't. I really don't.
Really?
I don't, just because they're not at their full strength, and going off the last game that they just played, it didn't seem it doesn't
Fair.
bode well for the Pacers. But I don't think they're going to sweep them or anything.
No.
And I don't think TJ Warren's going to get shut down every game, even though he has so far. But we'll see what happens. But so probably no surprise in the first round in the East. But one more thing that I found interesting though about a potential Boston Toronto matchup in the second round. Boston became the first team since like 1972 to have 3 20-point per game scorers. Did you see that?
Yep. Kemba, Tatum, and Brown.
And Toronto is one of the only teams to have, I think it's 5 15 points or more scorers.
That's interesting.
So that's
2 balanced teams.
Exactly. I think it's going to be a hell of a matchup. 2 good coaches as well.
And one of them just got an extension. And you could you can even dig into the fourth option, which is still Gordon Hayward, who has quietly basically researched. That's not a word. He saved his career this year after the horrific leg injury that people seem to be forgetting.
Groove back.
He got his groove back. He definitely got his groove back. Nothing to do with the stash, but yeah.
Does he get the got his groove back bubble award, or should Melo get that award?
Ooh, Melo did leave and come back, and there was a whole drama around him.
Should TJ Warren? I don't think TJ Warren, because he never had a groove. You know what I'm saying?
He never had a groove.
This is his first time grooving, so he didn't really have to get it back per se.
You can give him most improved player in the bubble award if they're even doing that.
Yeah. If that's one of them, I would give him that.
But the got his groove back award, damn, you could say Hayward.
He's a contender. He's a contender.
He's a contender. He's definitely in the top 5 bubble got his groove back award recipients.
Porzingis is a nominee. I would suggest.
I'll be honest. I didn't pay much attention to what Dallas was doing. Like, what did he? Did his stats? Did he do a little bit better in the bubble?
Yeah, quietly, he started out a little rough in the beginning of the season, but like he's been getting better and better. Actually got a chance to see him IRL a couple times and drop like 30. And he had a few 30-point games in the bubble.
Oh shit, that could be big if he's really like if he does this in the playoffs too.
Yeah. We'll see. Lillard never really lost his groove, you know, so it's not like
he's been this good, but I feel like he's always trying to up it another notch. He's very, very passionate, and
he's grooving all the time. He's like fucking Grateful Dead.
Yeah, I mean, his energy alone could kind of carries Portland very far. So yeah, he's good at basketball.
Yeah, he gets the really good at basketball for the bubble. Well, yeah, that's the East. Like, fuck, I think the Blazers probably have the best chance to take out the Lakers. Will it happen?
They do.
Who knows? Probably not.
No.
I don't know.
I'm always optimistic, but no, I don't think so. No, yeah, I think LeBron's too experienced. I think they can take him 7 games. I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Could definitely see that happening.
But I think we both agree the Lakers will probably take that one, even if it'll be a little bit difficult. LeBron's got too much gray in his beard to be losing to a dude who's so short as Damian Lillard.
That's just mean. I do think though that that Nurkic is actually going to be a little bit of an X factor. Which he was in the bubble, to be honest. So him being back is huge. Yeah. So I don't know.
Groove back award. He's a huge contender for getting his back award.
This bubble thing, now I'm kind of looking at the standings and looking at like how about the teams that had a record here, their individual records in the bubble. It could be a good preview for what actually happens in the playoffs, to be honest. Maybe that's why they didn't let the Suns get in there. But because and I say that because there's this like weird pandemic thing that happens, and everybody's gone from basketball for the most part. They're still practicing, they're still doing all that stuff as best they can. They're staying in shape and all that. But this is kind of like a little mini season, right? So what happened before the pandemic is long forgotten. It doesn't even really matter now because of all the stuff that happened. All the momentum that you had going into it is gone. You basically started up a whole new 8-game season, and now you're being thrust into the playoffs.
Yeah, tell that to Devin Booker, but I feel
the Bucks went 3-5 in the bubble.
Okay.
For a team that is, I mean, I don't know if that's partly due to them resting players.
I will say I can't, because I know that I can't judge them too harshly on that, because for some of the East teams, these bubble games have been kind of meaningless. You know, like I feel really excited about the Heat's chances, but I don't even, their record probably sucks in the bubble. Like they've lost a few games, like they lost their last game, but
3-4.
Yeah, but several of those games had like preseason vibes, but like in the moments where they were playing real basketball, I saw good things. So like if I were to judge at least the Heat off their record, like I definitely know that they're going to outperform like 3-4. But so I can't really say that about the Bucks neither, because especially them, because they had, they came into it as number one. So you don't want to hurt Giannis with something in he plays low minutes. It'd be interesting to see his minute count in the bubble, because I bet it's actually super low.
Yeah, they had already clinched everything, I think, well, not everything. They think there's still one more thing they had to clinch when they got into the bubble. But yeah, they were pretty much set with their positioning. But
they have shown some weaknesses, though. They have shown some weaknesses.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Yes, I mean, this whole thing with him headbutting the guy in the Wizards, like, dude, that's like, you can't do, like, if he pulls out in the playoffs, dude, that could hurt them big time.
Yeah, that's some Zidane shit, like losing the World Cup shit. You can't do
it.
That.
Is, yeah. I don't know. I mean,
oh man, could you imagine getting headbutted by that dude?
Oh god.
Oh my god.
I don't know. He just has this big dodo vibe about him that I don't like. Him and Embiid both. That's why I never want them to win for some reason. And yeah.
The bubble. Now that you mention it, the bubble has been kind of like a heel turn for Giannis. Like if it was wrestling, you know what I mean? Like he came into the bubble a baby face, and after the hostile acts and all that shit, he opened up the whole thing with like drama, like with at least in his first game, like wasn't that against the Celtics?
Yeah.
Where it was like he could do anything and not foul out of a game, and I think some people are starting to get pissed off about that. And then now this headbutt thing, so he's kind of turned into the dark side of the force a little bit.
He's going to show up in the playoffs, and he's going to have like that stubble beard that's like dyed black, like Hulk Hogan when he when Hulk Hogan turned bad in wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wearing all black and stuff.
The blonde handlebar mustache, but the jet black stubble behind
black. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it seemed to me like the refs were trying to keep him in. So,
it was trash.
Complaints have been voiced, and then fined, and so I don't know. It's if he's got to control his temper for one thing. I didn't even know that was a problem with him, but apparently he's this thing with the headbutt. I mean, he can't seem to control his emotions, and that's huge in the playoffs.
Alarming, yeah.
If he goes up against Toronto or Boston, I mean, and most likely he will, those teams have their emotions under control, like with the exception of like Marcus Smart. And so, you're going up against two poised teams, one of them a champion. So
that's true.
That's huge,
This Heat group is still pretty new, you know what I mean? So like, it's not like all these Heat dudes have been doing this shit for a long time. So I can't really say, but seeing that did give me like a little twinkle in my eye, because I know that Jimmy and Bam can be really fucking annoying, like defensively.
Jimmy mostly.
Yeah, and Jimmy's not going to back down. So
nope.
That that's important for Giannis to keep his head in the game, or at least not that much. But yeah, you know what I mean.
It's going to be an all Giannis. Like if they play the Heat, it's an all Giannis. Like Giannis has to dominate, because Jimmy's going to be on Middleton, I would think, right? I mean, that's who you
for the most part, yeah.
And Bam, Middleton.
Bam will be on Giannis when that hopefully happens.
So, if he's shutting down Middleton as best he can, then the scoring has to come from Giannis. Giannis is the top scorer, of course, anyways, but it has to, it's going to be all him. So he needs to like stay in these games. Otherwise, teams, I think they're a paper tiger. I think they can be beaten by almost anybody. They're gonna run over the Magic, which is going to be disgusting. But
like I said about them, kind of turning on the Jets against the Heat after being down about 20. That game had no Jimmy Butler and no Goran Dragic, who are like basically the two most important dudes outside of Bam Adebayo. And that was the only game the Bucks beat the Heat in this year. The Heat have actually beat them every other time previously in the regular season. So
the Budenholzer has to be looking at that and noticing it.
Yeah. So I'm, I don't, being a Heat fan, I don't see them realistically like competing for the ring or anything. So I kind of like that they're locked into this because, fuck it. Let's see what we got. Let's fucking go. If we can beat them in the second round, then at that point, I'll feel like they can do anything, but if they don't, I'll be like, well, you boys done did good.
I think you're discounting Indiana too quickly, but I don't know. That's just me.
Nah, that's I can easily predict that will be they will be quickly dispatched.
Do you want to do it in like a Miss Cleo voice or?
No. I'll just take I have her spirit in my spirit, and that's I'll just do it like that.
Fair, okay. To fans of those bottom 4 teams, our apologies, but y'all are gonna get whacked.
Y'all. Fuck
y'all. Better luck next year, all that stuff.
No, that does suck, but hey, we do this every year, and it's always pretty much. Isn't it hilarious? It's just like so much goes into it, and everybody loses except for one team. So
that's what makes winning the championship so awesome. That awesome feeling.
Give it a few more weeks, Devin Booker, and you'll feel a lot better. Half that league is in your same shoes.
I heard he likes strawberries.
Interesting.
No, did you see what he posted on Instagram on Kendall Jenner's Instagram?
Shit. No, I did not.
He just put, I like strawberries. And they were like, oh, look at this man shooting his shot.
Okay. It's a good time for that. He's been on fire. So
true. Yeah. He's on top of the world right now, except for the fact that he's going back home to Phoenix now. But
I feel like I live under a rock when it comes to shit like that. So they could probably have some sort of relationship. I don't even know, like already.
Oh, another Instagram news. Did you see Donovan Mitchell accidentally turned his on?
Yeah,
you saw that, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Porn or real stuff happened?
Ooh, you know what? It's funny. I didn't even consider porn, but I just assumed he snuck somebody into the bubble and he was throwing down. But it could have been porn. Well, okay. So the screen was dark, obviously, so you couldn't see. But like, I assumed, like, he had his phone on the bed and like he bumped it accidentally, and he was already on Instagram and just kind of it whatever, and it just opened that up and it was recording. But
man, I have never done that, not once ever. Like, what's up with these dudes, man? What is up with these dudes?
It's ridiculous. Plus, it would go to prove that like the bubble is not as airtight as everybody thought. You know,
I think we need more investigation because I'm leaning towards that's my theory because just because of the quality of the sound, like the way it sounded like it was coming from another speaker. Like it didn't sound like real voices, but I mean,
you got some like JFK conspiracy theory type stuff here. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'll throw this at you. Can you get porn in a Disney hotel?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna say
okay.
I'm gonna say there's no way they can. Even if there's something, I mean, there's nerd guys on these teams. Like they'll hook them up with a VPN or whatever they need to get past the firewall or whatever the fuck.
Sure. Fair.
No problem. Plus, I mean, he could have been on his phone. You know what I mean?
Sure, he could have been looking straight up at porn.
Yeah, he's like fumbling around on his phone.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Huh?
He's fumbling around on his phone. Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna have to be a little more focused than that, though, when they play the Nuggets in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
The Nuggets look a lot more put together than the Jazz right now to me.
For sure. The Jazz kind of crept into the playoffs again. Like I just wasn't really like scared of them or worried about them. I don't know. They just don't seem to be I think the Nuggets, Nuggets could sweep them, to be very honest.
I agree. I think the Jazz, they've given me
I'll make that prediction.
Bad energy, man. Like they just have bad energy on the court. The whole virus thing with Gobert and Mitchell.
Yeah.
It seems like Gobert and Mitchell, they got problems, man. I don't know if that's a fixable relationship, and you know what I mean? Because if you have conflict between your two best guys like that, especially if one of them is like a post guy and one of them is like a perimeter guy, it ain't gonna happen, man. Like, and then you got skinny Jokic now fully armed with Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Gary Harris, but also, hopefully, I don't know if all those guys are healthy. I know Murray is back, the emergence of Michael Porter Jr., who's probably been the best rookie of the bubble. Man.
Yeah.
Not getting a lot of love because it's like Bol Bol is a lot more fun, but Bol Bol as well. You know,
Did you see Bol Bol get a steal and then drive 3/4 of the court and dunk it?
Hell yeah.
The man can like dribble and kind of handle the ball a little bit. Like, okay.
Anybody who's a Bol Bol fan and is listening, I highly looking up on YouTube, young Bol Bol with his father. Cutest shit in the world. Hard not to love Bol Bol after watching.
I think I've seen that before, actually. Yeah.
Check it out. It's pretty good. But yeah, so I think Denver with skinny Jokic will easily, like you said, I think they could possibly even sweep.
I see a sweep. Yeah, to be very honest. Yeah. The most interesting match, to be very honest, in the first round in the West is Thunder Rockets, and with Thunder being fourth, by the way.
Yeah, I think that shit is hilarious considering the trade that was made, and Westbrook is not going to be available immediately. CP3 is available, and he played more games than Westbrook. And I think if Westbrook were playing, the Rockets fans would be able to have some peace of mind of like, okay, I know why we did this trade, right? But because Westbrook's going to be out, though, this is going to be fun as fuck, because if Chris Paul manages to upset them with the Thunder, like
it's not even an upset. It's 4-5.
It's true.
Yeah,
seriously,
they're technically the better team. The record's the same, but
it's the whole Westbrook situation makes it really interesting, and I love when storylines work out like that, like where you couldn't have wrote it better. That's a great storyline first round matchup for sure.
How many fights are breaking out in that series?
Oh yeah, for real. Because also, doesn't Chris Paul have beef with the Rockets going back to like the Clippers days? Remember when the whole locker room tunnels and shit?
Yeah. Oh, plus when he played with them too.
And the bubble, you don't need no tunnels really. It's all close quarters, man. So
yeah, they're in the next room. Yeah. That's going to be a great series. That series is low key. The 4-5 is kind of always an interesting matchup. I feel like the 5 always has like an equal chance of beating the 4. Like in any go back as far as at least 20, 25 years ago in the playoffs. But this year, like I really think that Heat and Pacers are going to be pretty interesting, especially with the whole Butler Warren thing.
Yeah, it's got story to it.
And then the Thunder Rockets thing is just thick with drama.
Yeah, CP3 is gonna like skip in front of Harden in like the pancake line at breakfast, and then Harden's gonna flop and just fall to the ground. It's gonna turn into a big scene, and he's gonna make Chris Paul look like a fucking asshole.
I can see like Harden like Euro stepping his way into the buffet line.
He's Euro stepping, just like scooping up like sausage, like Euro step has you, and I'm gonna get a cinnamon roll.
he's got his plate in his hand. He's going like doing that thing with the two hands, just going side to side.
He's making it rain with like those little packs of jelly.
I've meaning to ask you, by the way, do you go around your apartment and like do you annoy your girlfriend with like do you like pretend to like shoot every now and then at like an imaginary basket in your house?
No, but
you don't do that.
No, I haven't actually, and you may have done a terrible thing for my girlfriend by suggesting that. So.
I mean, I'm just saying, watch out for her ankles. If you're, if she needs to up her D, that's her problem. You know what I mean?
Those ankles don't stand a chance. No, we go out to the court and play sometime. No, ankles don't stand a chance. No, low key though, she beats me all the time in all things really. So she's got game.
Damn. Well, I'm just, it could be an inter apartment rivalry there. If you guys want to start going 101. I mean, every doorway is basically like a hoop, right?
So I don't know though, man. With the pandemic, I'm kind of like right now, but
you're kind of what?
I'm like fat Jokic.
Oh, oh, sorry to hear that.
I don't have anybody to pass to though, so it really takes
the quarantine 15. No, I mean when you're playing with the imaginary ball and basket in your own apartment, you always are the one getting the pass. You know what I mean? That's it. Yeah. You're never making any passes. That's ridiculous.
That's true. I just took a DNA test. I am 49% that bitch. So we got a chance. We got a chance.
It's not a majority, but we can deal with it. That bitch.
Yeah, Trump didn't need a majority.
No, he didn't. Turns out, yeah. That's the majority of America is dead. So yeah.
Clippers Mavs is going to be fire too. That's the last one I think we haven't spoken on.
That's fair. Yeah, actually, let me think about that one. Well, after what you said about Kristaps, I mean, kind of upping. I mean, if he can keep up that production, that makes that a more interesting series. The Clippers, I feel like, are just not. I don't know. They just don't seem as dangerous as a second seed in the West should be.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're because. I don't know what the current update is, but if they have healthy Montrezl Harrell and Lou Will, especially Harrell, though, I think Harrell had a death in the family. So I don't even know if he's really been with them this entire time. I think he's going to be there for the playoffs, though. And, you know what I mean? They just have such a fragile team that I don't. They're another one that I wouldn't put too much stock on the bubble shit with them because I think they're gonna ramp it up a bit in the first round. That being said, though, playing the Mavs is no easy matchup, man. Because the Mavs, they put up a all-time historical like efficient offense this season. So you know what I'm saying? Luka is not gonna just let you win. So
Luka's nuts, yeah, and the thing is, though, the thing about that is, and I'll retort with, I think there's another version of Kawhi called Playoff Kawhi, and I think that is,
I forgot about him.
Yeah, when Playoff Kawhi turns it on, it kind of becomes a whole different thing. So
sure, he could make all this irrelevant. He really could do what he did. If he does that too, then now you gotta that would be amazing. If he just repeats his performance from last year.
Yeah,
just hey all the way to the championship.
what it do, baby? Yeah, see, I do like the Kawhi versus Luka. Like I'm looking for some like awesome games to happen in here with just amazing stat lines with the two of them.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. Luka versus Kawhi. Not that they match up, but
not really.
Paul George and Luka and Kawhi I think will match up, but Paul George and Porzingis aren't going to match up, you know what I mean?
Absolutely not. No.
They're both badass, like supporting members. Yeah, we'll see. Two good coaches. Carlisle, I think, is a dude that gets slept on a lot. He doesn't get enough cred.
I think he's an NBA champion.
Yeah, NBA champion,
as you well know.
But I love Ace Ventura. His job in Ace Ventura is amazing. So
once again, please, what is that?
He looks just like Jim Carrey.
Oh, but Rick Carlisle. Oh, you know what? I see it. I've never heard you say that. Never heard anybody say that.
I think it's more of a you, me, and Irene or whatever. Jim Carrey.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Like seasoned Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but if the Clippers are made of what we think they'll win that match. Luka is just young, but again, another stage like and storyline, because if Luka could pull this off, then
major.
Yeah, that's major.
This is his second year making the playoffs, correct?
No, I don't think so.
He did not make it last year?
I don't remember him being in it last.
Okay, yeah,
I could
okay.
be wrong, but I don't.
So this is big for him, yeah. And Kristaps too, for that matter.
Yeah,
they're done for. Yeah, they can't beat the Clippers. But the two, now that I'm thinking about it, the Clippers are going to win. Like Kawhi, there's playoff Kawhi versus two guys who are both good, but this is their first time in the playoffs. Nah, that's nah.
Yeah, better luck next year, you know.
Paul George has been deep in the playoffs. Kawhi Leonard's been deep in the playoffs. Those guys, that team before they had those two players last year played the Warriors pretty tough as the 8th seed. Pretty much almost beat them. So yeah, it's Clippers. Clippers in like 5.
Yeah. So we'll probably have Clippers versus Denver, which that will be pretty cool.
Great series.
I like that just because I like Jokic against the Clippers. Just he's such a unique player. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do about that.
Yeah, he's fun against everybody, and yeah.
But other than that, like the other side, it'll probably be the Lakers. But then I can't say who's going to win between Houston and Oklahoma. Like I really don't know.
No, my money's on Houston. Just I feel like they kind of can't be denied. They keep getting denied, and it's really starting to get on hard nerves and everything. And they went and got Westbrook, and it's like, come on, guys, like we got to do this now. And that small ball thing is really, really scary. If they might have discovered something with this small ball lineup. Actually, this might be their final, like they're ace in the hole type of a thing. Being 5th in the West doesn't really help their case, but they could make noise. They could. If they beat the Thunder, I wouldn't be surprised. It would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, especially I don't know too much about the Westbrook thing, but if he's able to like do a thing where, if they're down in the series or something and he can come back.
And it's all dramatic and
yeah, it's going to be huge because with Westbrook, I think they firmly it'll be hard, but I think they beat them. Yeah. But without Westbrook, though, I think the Thunder could sneak past them.
Yeah, the small ball thing is very annoying. Like I watched when they beat Boston in Boston. I don't think Boston even beat them this year. And the second game, I think, is when they finally did not have Clint Capella. And they were like, it was unstoppable. It was very annoying to watch. Like I just hated it because Boston's big guys are out there just looking stupid, and they look stupid for the most part, anyways. You know what I mean? like Cantor's like people have been hating on him because he's kind of corny. Yeah. But people also somebody did a look back as to like the best Celtics rebounders in the past like few years. Cantor's like the best one they've had in like a long time.
That's kind of crazy.
His rebounding percentage, yeah.
You know what, though? I think part of that is also like Horford is, I see him getting like 9 rebounds at being cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, at least Celtics Horford, I don't know why. He was a more offensive, like
facilitator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. But I think that's actually interesting because, that's unfortunate for Cantor.
Yeah, Tice is really the starter, but I think there's going to be like a solid after these past few games. Like I don't know if you kept an eye on it, but like they've been putting Rob Williams in, and
the plus
minus when Time Lord is in there, it's looking really like you have to start considering giving him way more minutes. He's upped his game.
I agree.
Crazy, yeah. So he had a stat line recently where he shot 100% from the field. It took at least 7 shots, so he played a significant amount of time. He had like 18 points. He made all his free throws. It's like, damn, man, what's this guy doing? He's been practicing hard. So
yeah, in a weird way, I feel like Cantor has a more polished and skilled game than either of those guys. But I think both Tice, at least offensively, you know what I'm saying? But I think both Tice and Time Lord play with more heart and like energy than him.
Agreed.
Like
yeah.
hustle.
Cantor is good for like if you got a nice center matchup and you know that he can kind of exploit. Like you're like, okay, dump it into the post. He gets you some points, or at least he gets to the line. That's fine.
Yeah, he'll score efficient in the post.
But apparently also gets rebounds. So and like they're just like quiet rebounds is the thing. So it's whatever.
True.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I think this, at least as a Heat fan, I'm more than Bandit since probably like purple shirt guy, like 2016 ish years.
Right.
And then at least between the Heat and Celtics rivalry we have here, this might be the most equally matched we've been in a long time. So
pretty close.
Odds are not in favor of the matchup happening, but if it does, I
mean, it would be fire, especially since the Celtics are 3-1 against the Heat this year. So it would be fire. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to it. If it does have to happen, but yeah, it's been a beautiful evening in the neighborhood of basketball, talking about bubbles and broken ankles.
Got a fire weekend coming up.
Straight fire. Them 2 little games, and then maybe the Blazers
just one.
If the Blazers win the first one, but then playoffs on Monday. It's gonna be awesome.
Playoffs are bike. How far did they figure out how far? Like if let's say every series goes 7 games, how far? Like when do the finals start? I guess is the question.
Man, I don't even know.
This could go into October.
Yeah, I think it is gonna potentially go into October.
That's crazy. That's normally when a season is starting or about to start.
And then I think they're gonna have until like around Christmas time to get it popping once again.
Damn. We're kind of getting spoiled a little bit, right? Because like we don't normally have basketball in the summer, like legit basketball. We're normally like focusing on the draft and free agency, which is still kind of getting spoiled because I like that stuff too. But
we're about to get it all like after getting totally deprived of it for longer than ever before. It's going to be like a fucking year of basketball.
They're just shoving it down. They're like, what's that dish where they like open up a goose's throat and they just shove food into its mouth and like they force it to eat?
I don't know.
You ever heard of that before? There's a certain dish where you serve a duck and the duck before it dies, they put a tube down its throat and just force feed it. Is it like
a fucking? I don't even know, but that sounds so sad.
It's rough. Yeah, it's rough. But that's what the NBA is doing to its fans right now. Like, here, you want some fucking basketball? Here's some fucking basketball. I'm just like, just give me that fucking basketball.
It's true.
Take it.
God damn. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, with that.
Allow me to leave you with.
Are you always